All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Doodle and Chat with Friends, where we doodle and chat and connect and create together to make a whole lot of fun. I am Carrie Baughcum, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I am Mandy Tolan, and my pronouns are she, her.
And today we have with us the spectacular and amazing Stephanie Howell.
Hi, everyone.
I'm going to go ahead and share with everybody a little bit more about you, Stephanie.
Okay.
So Stephanie Howell is a mother, creator, hiker, and CEO. She is currently an instructional coach for the Pickerington Local School District in Ohio. With the master's in curriculum and instruction, Stephanie is a driving force in this 10,600 student, 16 school district, embedding and implementing edtech tools across it. She's also the proud CEO of Gold EDU and founder of Global GEG. At Global GEG, she created a team of education consultants who believe in sharing rich educational resources through trainings, YouTube sessions, one-to-one coaching, and courses that will empower others to try new things while enriching their teaching. As the founder of Global GEG, because all of this is not enough fabulous and so much, Stephanie, she has helped create a team of 49 volunteers from Colombia to the UK, Canada, and Australia that strive to inspire and empower educational communities to learn, create, and grow. And most of all, this hot chocolate lover, friend, and innovative leader with a heart that is so big is that friends and educators are forever thankful for. And we are just so excited that you were here with us today, Stephanie.
And thank you. You did your research.
We do our research here. Yeah, we do. And then, Mandy, did you want to share with friends how they can be part of Doodle and Chat if they're watching with us?
Absolutely. So as the bowl that knows gives us some questions today, we will be doodling the responses. You can doodle Stephanie's responses. You can doodle your own responses. And whatever you draw, you can share it out at the hashtag Doodle and Chat on Twitter and Instagram.
Are you ready, Stephanie?
I'm ready.
All right. So Mandy and I are ready. Got your pencil. So Mandy and I are going to turn on our cameras so people can follow along and draw with us or on their own. And then we've got the bowl that knows, which has questions that are very special just for you, and then some that are just for fun. All right. So I'm going to get my paper started. I have to do my whole name thing. I feel like I should start differently. I always start in the middle. Maybe I'll start a little bit different here. Shake it up a little bit. And you are a PH, Stephanie.
I am.
I have a really good friend that's an F, Stephanie, and I have to make sure I don't get that wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like where the F came from, because I've only really seen the PH, and then there's just a few Stephanies that have that F.
I agree with you on that one. I mostly grew up with the PH Stephanies, for sure. For sure. And friends, I see that we have a couple of people watching with us. You feel free to comment in the chat if you hear a question that you have an answer to, or you want to say hi to any of us as we're doodling and chatting. This we would love for our visitors to be as interactive with us as we are with Stephanie. All right, so we have the bowl that knows, some special Stephanie questions, as well as some very other special questions. So let's see what the bowl gives us first. All right. This is one that I can also relate to. Why are time zones so challenging?
Let's see. I didn't really have to deal with time zones until Global GEG and traveling to Australia for the Google Innovator. And I don't know why. I think some of it is daylight savings time.
Yes.
Because when I got accepted for Google Innovator, it was still like when we were in the fall time zone. And then when we went to Australia, it was spring. And I think Australia like doesn't move ahead as soon as, I don't know, like it's off schedule. So then it was like 14 hours, but then it was 13 hours. And then I was like freaking out that my plane and everything was like not scheduled correctly because of this time zone issue. And then a lot of people in the UK go by the UTC time zone.
Yes.
I don't know much about UTC. I'm like, I don't know. But yesterday it was so cute. Like in our Global GEG, we all talk on like Slack. And Kat, she put in there Ohio. She had like UTC. She had like all these other time zones. And then she put 5 p.m. Ohio. And I was like, Ohio's not a time zone. But it just made me feel so special because I am awful at telling time zones.
I can relate with you very much. If I do something that's like for overseas, I will like check the time zone 3 times and then I'll ask my husband, is this right about this time zone? Because I don't think it is. And I don't know what, I don't know. Like I was arranging something to do with Hong Kong and they're like 12 hours behind plus 1 more. So it's not like it's 8 to 8, it's 8 to 7. I'm like, I don't even understand. Google, give me the answers because I don't get it.
So my first, or my second mentee for Google Innovator, she was 13 hours ahead of me. And I, for the longest time, like, I could not figure it out. Every time I would schedule it, of course, when you schedule it in Google Calendar, it will adjust the time for you. And I'm like, wait, that says it's tomorrow for her when it's supposed to be today for me. And if I was like, that's right, that is correct, it would be a different day for her. It was very challenging for me as well. And I'm glad that Google does some of that for me.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for Google Calendar because on the side, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can add other time zones. And so when you add an event over on the side, it can tell you like what time it will be in Sydney and like all of your favorite places.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
Look at that.
It's super helpful. I think Avid pointed it out and I was like, oh, I need this because he's the one that makes fun of me for my time zone.
Listen, it's tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. I also struggle with it.
And I want to say hi to Carla. Welcome. And then Ryan is here with us too. And she said that she has had a couple of F Stephanies before. So. Having fun with this whole time zone thing. Do I hear markers?
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, is your preferred method with permanent marker?
It is. Well, yes. I mean, actually, if I was really going to be honest, I would use a pencil, but I feel like if I'm going to embrace the real sketchnoter's mindset and write books about it and stuff, I really have to commit to like the permanency of it all. But if I had a choice, I probably would use pencil. It probably wouldn't show up either.
And then Mandy, is that Procreate that you use?
Yes. So when I do our weekly doodle challenges on TikTok, I use a Sharpie and sticky notes. But when I'm doing, even when we did Doodle and chat before, I always just use Procreate. It's something that I use when I go to conferences. That's my sketch note of choice. That way, as soon as the conference is done, because I am the type of person that if I have the opportunity to sit and edit and play with something, I will. And for me, if I do it in Procreate, I can just say done, upload it as it is, and move on. So, and I do that with Doodle and Chat too. Like Doodle and Chat's over, I'm gonna post it just the way it is.
But I like that you have grids, like.
Yeah, so you can in Procreate, you can like pick your canvas. So I have the drawing guide on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make that drawing grid big or small. It's fun. It's a nice tool to use when if you're doing, yeah.
So when I first started using Procreate, they didn't have the drawing grid. And so you had to actually use like what's it called, Carrie? Like you could just draw your grid on it. You know what I mean?
Like graph paper kind of thing?
Yes. So you just had to draw it on and make that your background and then hide it when you were finished. And so when they changed to grids, I was really excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Procreate it's an amazing tool. It's a little bit tricky, like the zooming in and zooming out. Like Mandy tends to draw in one zoom, So that makes everything even, but that's where the grids also are helpful. Cause like if you start zooming in and out, it gets really, I don't know. That's one thing I don't like about it with sketchnoting. It can be tricky. Do you know what I'm saying, Mandy? Like if you go to different slides and zoom in and out, it gets kind of,
It does.
it's hard to
So
keep the lines the same length especially if you want it to be really pretty.
right. Well, sometimes sometimes I have to highlight it and shrink it down a little bit to fit, but
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm all right with it.
And then Kirsten's also here. Good morning, Kirsten. All right, I think we're ready for another question. Let's see what we've got here. This one? Yep, it's one. Oh my gosh, we're getting all of the Stephanie questions. I'm loving these. Sometimes the bowl gives us the random ones first, and those are fun too. But the bowl has a different direction today. We're going all Stephanie's this morning. What is the perfect cup of hot chocolate?
Oh, good question.
Because you are not a coffee drinker.
I am not a coffee drinker.
I'll try not to hold that against you.
I like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it.
Okay, gotcha.
And which is probably good because I do drink a lot of hot chocolate. So if it was like coffee, I'd probably be like 10 times crazier. Perfect cup. Let's see here. Probably not me making it. My dad has a really good recipe that he makes. So whenever it's winter, because it gets really cold in Ohio, we always have it on Christmas morning. And so he'll make a homemade pot of hot chocolate with marshmallows and whipped cream and all the goodness. And using milk, not water. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Like the quick, like instant, like I have to put milk. I can't use the water if I'm using like instant stuff.
And so then the hot chocolate that your dad makes, is that like from real chocolate or is it from, so does he grind it up or how? I don't even know how you do that.
The Hershey's, like he buys it at the store.
Oh, they have shaved chocolate already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And then so what, you melt that and then add the chocolate, like stir it in nice and slow?
Yeah, you use a little bit of water and then sugar, of course, right? And then after that you add the milk in and then just stir it every so often. Trying to think. Oh, vanilla too. Yeah, that's a ingredient in there. And then Ryan, they say in the chat, coffee is life with a 9-month-old. Yeah, my son too. So I don't know how I got by. I really don't. But hang in there, Ryan.
I didn't start drinking coffee until my 4th child was born.
Oh, wow.
And I was in the middle of my master's program at the time and was struggling, like hardcore struggling, just to get my life together. And so, yeah, that's when I started drinking coffee, and I have not looked back. Sadly.
So you have a son also though, Stephanie, right? AJ?
Yeah, AJ.
And how old is he now?
He's 2.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying that age?
Yes and no. He's very, let's see here, strong-willed. We'll
Gotcha.
say.
Yep.
And it will be great later in life.
Yes.
But right now in life, it's not. I want to be the one in control because I'm also strong-willed. So I'm like, no, I'm the one that's strong-willed. You're not right now. But it is a fun age. Like this week we went to the zoo because I was on spring break. So we did that, and then we went to Coastside, which is our like kids science museum type of thing. So he's into having fun and all that kind of stuff.
That's good. I'm sure it helped wear him out a little bit too, those days.
Yeah. And he's like so like strong-willed that he didn't want to take the stroller. So he walked the whole zoo, and I was shocked. Like I was like, I'm gonna end up carrying him. I only carried him like twice out of the whole 2 hours we were there.
I will show you, Mom. You will be more tired than me.
I know. Yeah. He took a really good nap that day.
that's always like, I remember those days. It's always like the balance, right? Who will wear the other one out more, right? Because I say, wear the kid out and they'll sleep well. But then it's like, but I'm tired too. Am I going to make it till the nap? Because I'm not sure I will.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just curious, Ryan, like, how are you sleeping?
Yeah, 9 months is, yeah, are they sleeping through the night by then? I'm trying to remember.
I know, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. It
Starting to sit up, right? Maybe is 9 months crawling? I don't know. Ryan,
yeah,
let us know.
They start to crawl. And food, like,
yes.
I'm trying to think when I started the cereal. I think I might have started that at 8 months. That helped out.
Yes, making them
hungry. And then I think you start like vegetables and fruit, right? Like, I don't know. Ryan, let us know.
Oh, yeah. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Crawling right now. Sleep is a far distance memory for Ryan right now.
It does get better.
It does. I agree.
But then it doesn't. And then it does.
So I love it when people say that they have strong-willed children, because my first one, oh my gosh. My mom even got me that book, Raising Strong-Willed Children or whatever. And I think I've told this story on Doodle and Chat before, that I was like, we were battling nap time and she just wouldn't take a nap. She would lay in her bed, she would read, but she would not take a nap. And I was at the part in the book where it said, if you lose the battle at nap time, you don't have control of your house. And I remember throwing the book against the wall. I'm like, you're not in my house right now. You don't know how this works. So I didn't finish the book. And you know what? She is now in medical school. She advocates for, she does a lot of advocating in the medical community. And I am glad she's strong-willed. So,
but you weren't, were you, like when she was younger?
Because I am also strong-willed. You have to learn that there's some give and take. Like,
yeah,
she actually knew that she didn't need to sleep, and I was trying to put her in this box that she just didn't belong in, and we found a balance.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say we didn't butt heads sometimes, because we did a lot, but we found a balance. And like I said, she's a great person. I wouldn't change any part of her, even that early part.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me hope.
You got
I made sure
to, cute little red one.
I made sure to put in here that we had milk and chocolate.
Yep.
I didn't realize there is a difference between hot chocolate and hot cocoa.
Is there?
Yes. So hot chocolate is made with chocolate, and then hot cocoa is made with cocoa powder. And they're different. Yeah, I didn't realize that either, but they are considered different drinks. So.
Huh.
One is probably tastier than the other as well. Unless, I guess, I bet you somewhere there is like insane cocoa powder that's just delicious that we just don't know about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Or some of them will combine them both. Like they'll put cocoa powder and chocolate in. Yeah.
Wow. I might have to try some of this. My kids are not hot chocolate people, so we just don't really drink it, and I like coffee. So
I like coffee.
I really like coffee.
So what my daughter will do is she will make a cup of coffee, and then she'll put the hot chocolate mix in it and just mix it right up in the coffee. And so that's how she drinks hers sometimes.
Interesting. That might be your little roundabout, Stephanie, for the little bit of jolt of caffeine there.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's asking if you've ever tried those hot chocolate bombs. Those are always so cute.
Yeah, I have. It was like during COVID, I feel like, is when I tried those, and they're good. I just don't think to get them. I don't know. I haven't had it since. I've had it once.
So I saw a really interesting hot chocolate bomb, and I haven't made it yet, but I did look up the supplies to see if I could. So it was the hot chocolate bomb, and it had all of the goodness in it. And then sticking in the top part of it was a little vial of This I think was like a butterscotch liqueur, and it was like a butterbeer hot chocolate bomb. And anyway, so once it melts, then you squeeze the alcohol in it as well. But it's like all inside the bomb. Like it's the circle, and then it's got the little vial that sticks in the top of the plastic. It was so cool, and they were pretty. I was like, hey, that would be fun to make. I haven't done it. We'll see. I might sometime.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on peppermint and hot chocolate?
Love it.
I do too. I love peppermint. Do you?
No.
Not at all.
No, and so like Paradise, I don't know if you guys are like Paradise, like anything Go Guardian, Coach It, like whatever. They sent hot chocolate with peppermint in it, and I was like so excited. And then I was like, oh, there's too much peppermint.
There does have to be a good balance. You have to find
Yeah,
for sure.
They had too much in it. But
Yeah.
it was nice still. I'm thankful for the gift.
Yes. Yeah, I do agree. Like I wouldn't want too much peppermint in it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is too much.
Peppermint mocha is my favorite.
I do
Okay.
like peppermint mocha too, as well. Not like it's not my favorite, but it is a tasty drink. I know when you said you don't like coffee, I was thinking, well, mocha, you know, chocolate and the coffee. A good combination.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like everybody here is raising a bunch of strong-willed children, so we're all in good company. I didn't want to scare Stephanie because you had such a wonderful story, and I won't say that my story is terrible, but we're in sophomore year, strong-willed, and the end has got to be. It's just, and I am also strong-willed. Like it's got to. Learning to give is really, really hard. Like learning to compromise. Like that they do know what they're talking about. But I do too, but the other end will be amazing, I'm sure. But that's not to scare you, Stephanie. They're also the child. I have two incredible children, but that they just teach you so much about life, and about ourselves. I think that's my favorite part about my strong-willed child. Actually, both of mine are pretty strong-willed.
I know, because then I'm like, do people think I act like that? Am I that hard to get along with?
It's just two, though. I'm sure that based on my learning and research on Stephanie, that is not what they think. All right, I think we're ready for another question. That was a fun hot chocolate conversation.
That was.
The bowl knows. I'm telling you. Crazy. All right, here's a fun one. Do you prefer tennis shoes, boots, or sandals?
That's a hard one.
I said the same thing. Annabeth helps me write these questions for the show, and I'm like, I would pick all of them.
It depends on the season.
Yes.
But if I had to pick one, it'd be tennis shoes because you can use those in any season.
Agreed.
It also probably depends on where I lived because, well, I don't know, because different activities though.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to draw tennis shoes. But I'm going to go with tennis shoes.
Nice. I was thinking the same thing as you were saying that. I'm like, oh, I got to draw tennis shoes.
I know flip-flops would be so much easier. Even boots.
Socks are easy. Because you can't really mess up socks. They're just wiggly things, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite tennis shoe, like a go-to one that you like?
I really like Nike. I don't know why. I think it's just like when I first started buying, I'm like, when did I even start buying tennis shoes? That was kind of like the route I went, was the Nike. What about you guys?
I like Brooks tennis shoes. I do a lot of walking, and I really have a hard time finding shoes that fit. So I bought Adidas, Nike, Reebok. Like I've tried them all. Expensive shoes. Like you don't want to just keep trying shoes that aren't going to work for you. And there's even like some Brooks that don't work for me. I have a specific kind of Brooks. Like the first time I bought them, I put them on in the store and I walked around the store for 10 minutes to make sure that my feet were going to hurt because it makes my feet cramp. I have a weird arch in my foot. Anyway, so I found a pair of Brooks that I love. I'm on my 4th pair because I do walk or work out just about every day. So I just wear the soles right off of them, but I love them. So those are my favorites.
No, I like Nikes too, or Asics are good too. But I love wearing gym shoes in the classroom even. So I used to wear Converses all the time, and now I'm on to Vans, and I'm just like, the more colors, the better. I love my Vans.
Mm-hmm.
What I say, when it gets quiet, it means we're drawing.
I know.
Right. Well, these questions have been particularly fun to draw also, I'm finding.
They have. Sorry about that. Terrifying noise. Stuff was falling behind me. To wake everybody up out there, we needed to break the silence.
I know, I had to look up. I'm like, did Mandy fall? Or was it Stephanie?
That was my this is my TikTok making when I doodle.
Nice.
And it was sitting over here and it fell against the wall.
Don't forget me.
So my tennis shoes look a little terrifying, and that's okay. We're going to just leave them.
Mine turned out halfway decent.
Mine kind of look like Croc tennis shoes. We're going to leave it. It's fine.
Mine kind of look like clown feet. I'm glad mine's not up on the screen though.
You can hold it up and show it. It's okay.
But I will put it on Twitter. I will.
Okay. Well, you went for flip-flops and everything, Mandy.
I know. I like your flip-flops. And the boots are cute.
Thanks.
So that's like the kind of boots I would wear. Is like simple and yeah, just like that.
They're very teacher bootsy.
They are. I tried to put the little Nike swoosh on the shoes.
But
like I said, they look like Crocs. It's okay. It's fine.
I thought that the swoosh would be easier than it was, and it's not as easy as it.
No.
You'd think it would be easy. It's just a swoosh. You just swoosh.
Yeah.
It's not so easy. No.
Nope.
But I did have fun with socks. Like, so you got long legs and some cute little socks on your shoes with your shoes.
It.
All right, I think we're ready for another question. I'm gonna hold this one up. Hidden little guy. Okay. All right. What makes euchre a great card game? Did I say it right? Because I've been practicing. Okay, good.
You ever played?
What's that?
You ever played euchre?
I have not, but I did get to read about it as I was practicing how to say it, and I love games. So I'm like, I was telling my kids about it. I'm like, we need to figure out how to play this game.
Yeah. Okay. So the question was, what makes it great?
Yeah.
Well, you have a partner.
Yes.
So me and my husband, we work really well together on euchre. We haven't played in a while. It's a hard game to learn. I don't know why, but once you like kind of learn it, it's like stuck with you, I think. And so you have to have a partner. So you need 4 people to play.
Okay.
So like sometimes that's difficult, like having those 4. It's a card game, so if you didn't know that. And you have to try to get the jacks are like worth the most points. And so it's just fun. Like usually we just like if it's winter, we'll have hot chocolate.
Nice.
And usually we do dinner before, and then we would play like with friends. Kevin used to have like, I don't know, it was like a family friend. And usually it's like older people in Ohio that play. And this is going to sound crazy, but it's okay. My like dream is to live in like a nursing home. Like I just want to live with older people in a nursing home and just play euchre, have food made for me, and just talk about life. Like I just cannot wait to get older. And if it wasn't so much money right now, I might consider it.
I love it. My dad is in assistive care, like in a like an independent living, but then there's assistants, and we'll take my oldest or take my kids there. We'll go visit, and my oldest is like, "Do they have this for like college age kids, Mom? Because I would love this."
Yeah. Yeah. Like the one that my grandma used to live at, they had like an ice cream parlor, like in there, a hair, everything was like, you don't have to drive. I hate driving. So like, that's perfect.
Or they'll drive you,
Yeah,
they'll take you to your appointments for you.
You can just get on the bus and we can go somewhere. Yeah, it was like great.
Like they come to you. The PT comes to him. The speech path comes to him. Everybody comes to him too.
I know. Yeah. It's so funny.
Mandy,
have you played euchre?
I don't think I have. I mean, I've heard of it though.
Yeah, I have too.
How's it spelled?
EUCHRE. And I will thank Google for the pronunciation of that also. It was like one of those things where I knew the game. I was like, but how do you say that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like Midwest, I think.
That makes sense.
I'm pretty sure. Bridge. I've never played bridge. I think it's very similar though.
Well, in bridge you need teams too, don't you?
I think so.
But do you have to like communicate with your husband on the sly about like getting the jacks? Is that how it works?
It's whatever's in your hand. And so like you go around and you kind of say, yes, I'm gonna like go, and if so, that's worth more points. Like we're gonna play this game or this round. And then when they play, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've played. Like face cards are pretty much worth the most points. Like it's jack, and then if you are playing hearts, it's depending on like the suit of the card as well. So if it is hearts, then all your heart cards are worth more than like the diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get pairs of them. Is that the goal?
You like lay them down. So like if we're playing hearts, like someone might throw down like the ace of hearts. Someone might throw down the 9 of hearts. And like you have to throw down a heart if that's the first card that was laid down. So it's kind of by like matching by suit.
Okay.
And then somebody might lay like a diamond down, because they didn't have any hearts. And if they did have a heart, they would renege. And so then they would be in trouble later in the game.
Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like I have played this game before. Like as you're explaining them, I feel like I have, like a long time ago. But so I know you said 4 people, but I couldn't figure out how to get 4 people around my table. And so their cards are also the size of their head, which is good for those of us who are visually challenged, which delightfully is not me when I have my contacts in, but my husband, however, has had to start wearing readers, or I would have had to hold the cards for him across the table. So.
Kristen in the chat, I'm really curious about this adult daycare. What is this?
Wait, what? Where we could go Here's
I don't know. It says there is an adult daycare that she passes near me. It's tempting.
yes, what is that?
So I do think it is for your more geriatric patients, but like it's just data. I mean, listen, I'm all for it too, guys. I'm not saying anything. But I think it's a place for them to go just to interact with other people, and they have activities for them, you know, especially for people who are home by themselves and aren't in assisted living. I think it's just an activity place for them to go. But I'm about it. And I don't know if we could like maybe change school up a little bit. So there's maybe like some time for me to interact with other people and maybe have some massages or bring me some hot chocolate. Like if we could just have like a teacher's lounge with a massage therapist and a barista, I think I would be set. So
yeah,
I'll put that in my list of things to happen when I create my own school.
Which we should actually keep a list, because the more guests we get on here, the more we keep saying, if we had our own school, we could just keep inviting guests on. It could be our interview process, and check, done. Now we have a technology tech coordinator. Done. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, and we could have like our sketches up.
Yes.
Under our photos. But I do love games, like just in general, like in the classroom. Huge game person. Think it's fun, and it engages students, because I taught spec ed, and some of those students, the way to get to them was through games and making it competitive.
No, I agree. As a fellow special ed teacher, we play every math period, or not every math period. We play every Friday during math. We play games, because just the residual effect of it all is just so amazing. It's too good not to, you know. So much fun.
Oh, nap time. Yeah.
I know, right?
Listen, I'm telling you, my kids at school, because we have a seminar, it's right around lunchtime. Of course, right around lunchtime, like before lunch, you're tired because you're hungry, and after lunch, you're tired because you've eaten. And I always tell them, I'm like, guys, we should just have built-in nap time. And they're like, well, why can't we? We have the seminar time. Like, I think it's frowned upon. Because they walk in and we're all sleeping. I think it's frowned upon. I'm not sure, but like I can ask. I don't think they're going to let us do that.
I think they would be, yes, they probably would frown upon it.
But listen, like they say, power naps are good for you. If we could just have 15 minutes where the lights are off, and if we want to sleep, you can. Like, imagine how productive we could all be.
Yeah.
Change the world.
Of course, it would be my luck that I was the one taking the nap, and we were doing who knows what in the classroom.
Right. So true. What grade level did you teach, Stephanie, when you taught special ed?
5th grade. And I was full inclusion. So I taught with like a regular ed teacher most of the day. And then the only pullout I did was for their IEP goals.
Nice. So I'm sure you got to grow into loving technology through that.
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of how it came about.
Simple, right?
Yeah. Because I think too, like some of the kids, like I saw confidence go up when they had Google Documents rather than writing on a piece of paper, because they had the spell check. They didn't need me to sit right next to them either, because I could be in the Google Doc with those students and saying like, good job, instead of like constantly being over their shoulder. So it gave some independence, and it was like success. So yeah.
That's awesome. All right,
I like that idea. Find the research to go to support nap time. I might. I'm looking for a new research project, so I might actually do that.
It could be your next doctorate. Napping life, the research, the master's degree or the doctorate in napping.
Well, that's just it. You can actually continue to do research once you have your doctorate. You can go through like I'm teaching for an institution right now, and they like for you to continue to do research. So that might be my next research idea right there.
Yeah. I have a really hard time just taking a 15-minute nap, though. I like my 2-hour naps, but I suppose if I only had to take a 15-minute one and I got to, I guess I could be okay with that. But I really like a long nap. All right, here we go, Stephanie. What are the tricks to being a team list view awesome multitasker? We hear that you are.
I am team grid view.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Did they say team list? Was this an ABED question?
They did say list view, and I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I was like, I'll just go with it, and Stephanie will explain it to us. Is it team grid view? Is that
yeah, so like in your Google Drive, you know how you have two different views? You have like list view or grid view, and okay. I am more visual. So grid view is the way that I need to look at my documents. And it's just a huge fight that we have in Global. Mostly it's a fight between me and ABED than anybody else. But definitely it just makes me more organized, and I can find my documents a lot faster because I can see them. And usually when I am trying to search for documents, I'm picturing what it looks like in my head, not the name of it, but like what it actually looks like the colors on it, if it's a drag and drop, if it's like an info, like I can visualize it, and finding it is a lot easier when it's in grid view.
I am also a grid view person. The only time I will change it to list view is if I know that it's recent, and I will filter by recent, and I'll switch it to list view if I know it's going to be in like the top 5. But most of the time I am in grid view. Now, I hate to admit this right now, but my drive is a hot mess express. Because when I go to conferences, well, even like when we did the stickers the other day, I sometimes don't name things when I'm doing them at conferences or doing them for things like that. So I have a bunch of untitled stuff in there right now that I need to go through and say, this is really something that I just did for the moment and I don't need it anymore. So I need to go through and clean up my folders a little bit.
But besides being a visual, which I totally get what you're saying, like I can see what that doc looks like. I know what it looks like. So grid view is perfect for that, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have any other tricks that you love to implement to be such a good multitasker? Is there other things that you like? Anything?
Yeah. So over on the side, I make folders. So there's like folders for everything. I do use the search bar. So I'll like type in whatever I think it's called, but usually I didn't name it what I think it's called at that later date.
Yes.
So I don't have any good ideas for that. But over on the side, I will drag and drop things to the correct folder. So that makes it a lot easier instead of like going all the way up and then it like has to scroll up on the board. Like I can just do it on the sidebar. Also adding emojis to folders and colors can really help. And I'm trying to think what else. Like I'm really into Edu Protocol. So every Edu Protocol has its own folder now.
So I use Notability in my classroom a lot. And so one of the tricks that I have taught the people in my district, I have a folder called iPad, because when I create a PDF that I want to load onto into Notability, I just drop it in that iPad folder because it's easy to find. And I want it at the top. So we put an asterisk in the front of the name and then it pops it to the top of your list all the time. Mm-hmm. So I like doing that too.
Yeah. And I liked what Mr. Whitehead said. He said that he has image and then the number. Like that's my issue. It's not the untitled documents. It's the images and then it's like the numbers afterwards. I agree. So I've been trying to get better at that with renaming them, because when I do a search, I want those images to pop up in my search. So I have been doing better at that, but it took some habit training to do that.
Yeah, images are tough for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Kristen too. No, it was Carla. She said, is it Carl?
Carla. Yes, she.
Okay, so headers on your forms. Yes, I make custom headers in Canva, so that way I can kind of see the visuals, and they're so easy to make in Canva.
Love Canva. I'm obsessed with it. It makes anybody's stuff look amazing. There's no reason why anybody should not be using it.
Have you ever used the drawing part in Canva?
I have not used the drawing part in Canva yet. Have you used it? You have, Mandy?
Yeah. So you can even animate your drawings in there. So I did one like right after.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah. And I made a little rocket ship, and you can animate your drawings once you do it. So I was just playing with it to see. So I am a huge Google Drawing fan. And I know you don't have the templates and everything, but usually when I create, I just kind of create from scratch anyway. Even when I go to Canva, I end up creating from scratch. But I have been migrating to Canva a little bit more lately. So I just created my daughter's bridal shower invitations in there, and they're not expensive to order.
I was looking at it too for some things too. I think I might try ordering from them too. Like they're very, affordable.
So like 50 with the envelopes was like $30.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was insane. because you can't order those anywhere else for that price. And this was like heavy textured cardstock. I was excited. So I'm going to order them, and I'll let you know how they turn out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And I like in Canva how you can save it as like a PowerPoint, and then I'll convert it to a Google slide. Because then you can move your like elements around. That saved me some time.
Wait, say that again, because I always just save it as a JPEG or something like that. So tell me again what that is you do.
So in Canva, when you like go to the download arrow, you have to click more.
Okay.
And then when you click more, there's like the Google Drive symbol, and you'll click that. And then after that, it will default to a PNG. But you click that arrow and then pick PowerPoint. And then it will save as a PowerPoint in your Google Drive. And then I click it and I save it as a Google slide. So it is like a couple extra steps, but I like it a lot more because I like to create in Google Slides. I don't know why. And then I've got my pretty background with all the elements that I can move around.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good idea. Yeah. That's awesome. So it keeps all the elements separate then?
Yeah.
That's amazing technology.
Yeah. And I haven't tried it with like the draw feature. I wonder if it would keep them separate.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it does, because when you do it in Canva, it creates
like
well, the drawing image itself was like one image. So like I don't know that you could draw the separate pieces for it. But another feature that they just came out with, and I think it's still in beta, you can make like little custom characters now. So they have components where you can make little kind of like Bitmoji sort of people in there. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's fun. I haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't seen it either. It'll make things more inclusive too for everybody when we're making stuff. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, there were a lot of options as well. I was kind of happy with it. I think I know I wrote a blog post about it, but I think I put it in my newsletter one week.
Oh, fun. I'll have to look at that. All right, I think we're ready for another question.
Okay.
I think we have time for like one or maybe two more. We'll see.
I have room for two more. So
I have room for two more. Do you have time for two more, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Oh, here's a good one. If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Oh, 30 seconds. Probably something like with advocating technology and blended learning. It would be worded nicely, but hopefully I had more time to plan for what I was going to say there. But definitely like just personalized learning and engagement and keeping students active and owners of their learning.
I love it.
Yeah. That's a hard one. What would you guys say?
We're not supposed to ask. No, I'm joking. That's a great question, Stephanie.
It is a good question.
It is a really good question.
That's a good question for the interview that you guys are conducting right now.
I would advocate for student ownership of learning and behavior. That's one of the things recently that I have really tried to work on in my classroom, is that students own their learning. So I provide the opportunities for them to track their learning, reflect over their learning, decide that path that they want to take in their learning. I give a lot of choice as far as what you do to learn, how you do it, how much of it you need to do. But I've also started really advocating for students to own their behavior. And so I had a student, just a quick story. I had a student the other day, this was before spring break. I do give deadlines for retakes. Although I'm pretty fluid with it, I have a policy where if you will email me, tell me the situation, I get it, life happens, and we'll make other plans. And so it's the last day for retakes, and he emails me and he's like, hey, I was going to stay after school today, but something came up with my mom and I can't. And so my response was, can you tell me why you waited until the last day? Because I give them 2 weeks. And he replied, you know what? I really should have just done it earlier and I didn't, and that's on me. And I said, thank you for owning that behavior. I will let you take it on Monday. So I just want them to own it. Just know that this was not somebody else's fault. This was a choice that I made, and I'm going to be gracious about it. But I think it's important that they own that behavior.
I love that. Yeah. Instead of like blaming others too, it's just, hey, I screwed up.
Yes.
That's such a skill that people need.
Absolutely.
Well, and apparently, so Keisha's a regular from our Doodle and Chat family, and she said that we have been keeping her company while she's grocery shopping, which I absolutely love. I don't think we've ever made it to the grocery store, Keisha, so that you're like warming my heart. And I know Keisha is hugely passionate about all things gratitude, and so she said that gratitude in all things would be her 30-second plug. And I think for mine would be something like Stephanie said. I would have more time to think of it, and I would be far more articulate than I'm being now. But just advocating for unconditional love of our students, no matter what their identity is, what path they're on, that the essentialness of educators, and I would argue parents and human beings in general, to love people in whatever spot of their life or whatever journey they're on without question and without judgment. That would be my 30-second spill. I guess it would go with the ownership, right? That kids have ownership of their behavior, and we have ownership of
absolutely
of our I don't know, our actions, right? Adults' actions, I guess.
And it makes me sad that we have to have that conversation. We do, absolutely. It makes me sad that we have to have that conversation. Had Keisha said anything earlier? I'm glad she's here, but I didn't. Is that the first comment she made?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad she was with us too.
Yeah, she can work on my grocery shopping next. I would like that.
I know. I want to know what's for dinner.
Yeah.
Some ideas.
Is a great cook.
I also have to go grocery shopping later. But it's finally about 50 degrees here, and the wind I don't think is blowing as hard as it was yesterday. So I'm going to actually try to get outside and walk. Our wind was insane yesterday.
Ours too. It's coming your way, Stephanie. Missouri, Illinois, Ohio. They'll end up there tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got hail yesterday.
Today, yeah.
Snow today. This morning. Yes. Lovely. Thank you.
We live next to an apple orchard, and they have hail cannons, so we don't ever really experience that.
Wait, they have what?
Hail cannons?
What are those?
They protect the apple trees.
So they it's like a canopy kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like a big trying to think how it's like in the middle of their what is it? It's not a field, orchard.
Yes.
It was like it's in the middle of there, and it's kind of like a cannon looking. It's white. And they shoot them off before the hail comes. So it protects our house. It's really loud.
They shoot the cannons off before the hail comes.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to Google this.
And now apple trees are making its way into here. And I'm feeling like a hail cannon is going to have to be on this doodle and chat also, even though I have no idea what it looks like, but I'm going to imagine what it looks like. A hail cannon.
I just found the price, like 50,000.
The hail away from the orchard.
Yeah, because I mean, it can really ruin their trees. Like their trees are expensive. It's really crazy.
I don't even know what a cannon looks like. Like I thought I did.
Well, I made a literal cannon, so you know.
Well, that's what I was working on too, but my cannon was looking really weird.
My cannon
looks like a megaphone, kind of like.
Oh, then I got it right. Mine looks like a telescope.
Yeah,
well,
like a giant telescope type of looking thing.
A hail cannon.
And it says that they shock waves to get rid of the formation of the hailstones in the atmosphere.
Wow. Look at all that technology you live by.
I know. It's really loud. But we don't have any hail damage.
That is completely insane, and I love it. I have never heard of it, so that also makes me happy. And did you say it was an apple orchard?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, for dinner tonight is salad and soup, Keisha says.
Oh, that's lovely.
What kind of soup?
Telling you, Keith is a good cook too. We could all walk over there, you know, in the next,
yeah,
or so.
I have never heard of a hail cannon, but I even put a little tree there. So I am so excited. I love when I learn new things.
I love that like an apple orchard is just showing up in my doodle and chat. They're really bringing it all together. It was the perfect segue, Stephanie.
I don't even know where that came from. I'm sorry.
I didn't either. We're talking about weather. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you said it was hailing. Yeah, okay. It's all coming together now.
And then Ryan was nice enough to tell us that it's 80 degrees where she is. So, whatever. My kids sleep through the night, Ryan.
There's a take that.
I feel like Ryan is safe to be sassy with.
Veggie soup. Oh, we had that a couple of nights ago. It's so delicious.
So hearty. All right, what do you say, Mandy? One more question?
I think we can.
Okay.
I'll keep my comments to a minimum.
We've had like some wonderful back and forth. It's been a great conversation. Oh, this is the perfect one to end. I love the bowl. It always knows. What is your advice for other coaches looking to get educators they work with out of their comfort zone?
Oh, the first thing is building relationships. Because if you don't have a relationship with them, they're not going to feel comfortable to tell you like, hey, this is what's really going on. And you have to meet educators where they are. I mean, I've been in my position for 5 years. And so when I'm coaching teachers, it's getting to know them. So that was year one. And then after year one, they start to trust me and we start to work on some struggles or some problems in education that they might experience. And then after that, they're ready to maybe say, oh, hey, I saw this idea on Twitter. You want to try it? But it takes time and it just takes getting to know people and building that relationship and being present. And so just showing up and making sure that they can trust you and being that confidential person that they can rely on.
I love it. Not too different from teaching our students either, right?
No, yeah, no, it's definitely building those relationships. I think what makes teaching so hard is you just have the students for usually a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go up a grade level or to a new teacher, where I get to be with the same teachers year after year unless they retire or move districts. But that doesn't happen often, that doesn't happen as often. They're going to stay in the district typically. Yeah.
No, I do have a unique role at least with my special ed students. I do get them often for 3 years, sometimes for 2.
Okay.
And I can relate with that. Like the you're in it for the long haul, right? There is no like they're just going to go, you're done with them. Not that teachers think that, but there is value in this kind of long-term relationship that we get to have with people.
Yeah.
Well, I also feel like, your advice for this, because, in learning more about you, this was something that did come up more than once about your ability to get people out of their comfort zone, and then also how much they appreciated that and really valued that about you. But I like that you have in your head kind of like a plan, right? Because I often think that I hear other coaches talk about struggles with things, and I think because they put too much expectations on whatever part of the process that they're in. They want to go to the change part when really it's a journey into this change that we need to be on, or that coaches need to be on with those people,
Yeah.
And I do wonder if it's too, because I've often thought sometimes, really great teachers go into coaching and it's really a struggle for them. They were good in the class, they were amazing in the classroom, but coaching is a whole different beast. And I wonder if it goes to that, like what you said, we get kids for 1 year, but as a coach, you have people for more years. And that's a big mind shift for an educator to have.
Yeah. And I mean, I struggled my first year when I was first coaching. I was like, oh, we've got to do this right now. I'm a go-getter. So in my classroom, I would try different strategies. And when I went into other classrooms and they weren't, I was like,
what are you waiting for?
Yeah. I was like, You're not on Twitter. You don't have a piano. Like, what is this? And so that was like different for me. And so it did take some patience. It took some just understanding people. I'm also really into like personality tests.
Okay.
So like the Enneagram and then like True Colors. And so I made my staff do that like when we first went into COVID, because we were going to be hybrid, like the second year of COVID. And we were talking about like how you won't know your students. And so we're going to do this personality test so you get to know them a lot faster. But it's just crazy how we all are so different and how you have to adapt to people's personality to help them grow, because we're all just so different, which is good, but it's just crazy, that kind of stuff. But it is funny. I have a teacher that I work with, and now I can be like, hey, will you do this for me? And she's like, I can't tell you no. Like she's always like, I can't tell you no. Like, I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I'm like, you really can if you don't want to do it.
But it's also, it must put a lot of, make them have a lot of value that that you can lean on them for that too. And that's awesome. I know that's a great feeling as a teacher.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was going to add color to this, it's the red. It's the apples. Like there would be hints of red everywhere.
Yeah.
You're like vibing red today in your colors. Would you be comfortable showing your final edition, or are you not ready? You want to wait and share it on Twitter? All right, let's see.
Can you see it?
Yep, there we go. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you got that hashtag team review. You got that in there.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah. I tried to draw a whistle. Oh, this way. Whistle, but that was like my difficult. My tennis shoes. There's my clown shoes.
Listen, at least they don't look like Crocs. So
Yours are Crocs with laces, though. I saw somebody do a TikTok in Crocs with high heels on them. And I'm like, who would buy Crocs with high heels? But apparently somebody did. So, you know.
Yep.
Yours look like tennis shoes, at least.
Kind of.
I like your sign. And your color, you've got a color theme going on.
I know, I like the color palette.
Very nice. I need to work. I think that needs to be my challenge in my next couple of doodle and chats is to add some color.
Yes, but I love
the black and white.
I love the black and white. I love that the words, I've always loved that the words are glued, or the questions are glued down in there.
It is fun.
I do like it.
I'm liking this name in the corner thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I love that the tree is around her name with the apple. That's amazing.
I know. Who knew that we were going to interview you and the thing that came out of it would be
apple.
That's great.
Oh my gosh.
So fun. All right. Well, thank you so much for being a part of all this fun. This was just amazing. I just like, Mandy and I can't get enough of Doodle and Chat. And then the fact that we get to chat with amazing people who inspire us and we get to draw with you as well. It just makes it makes our week, really.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I had fun.
Thank you so much. And if you were here today or you're here viewing this later and you're part of the Doodle and Chat, please, like Mandy said earlier, share your Doodle and snap a picture of your Doodle and Chat and share it out on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Doodle and Chat so we can share with everybody all the fun that we have here each episode. Thank you everybody for being here, and we'll see you. I was gonna plan that I knew what we were doing next
Hold on just a second. I've got it.
It's on a Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Oh, maybe I don't.
April. I can look. Please pause for a moment.
The 20th.
No, we have something before that.
That's the next Wednesday that we have. Oh, no, the 6th, Wednesday the 6th.
So yeah, Wednesday the 6th, we have Don Strum who's a fellow Illinois educator. Mm-hmm. And then we have on April 20th, we have Ann Cosma who's joining us too. So we have a fun lineup. Watch Twitter for updates, and you can always follow this YouTube channel and get updates and reminders on all the Doodle and Chats coming up. So we're so excited for that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Saturday.
Bye.